Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to Transfer News. Today, we are starting off with Jamie Vardy, who has just signed a new Leicester deal, apparently ruling out any chances of a move to another club. Obviously, he did have a 20 million release clause, which Arsenal met, and we're going to obviously start negotiations with the player, but he's basically turned them down, and he's basically going to stay at Leicester, signed a new deal, and I think that obviously kills off his transfer release clause and commits his future to Leicester. So good bit of business by Leicester, being able to hold off a top four club every season. I know Leicester obviously won the league, but a top four club who finished there every season. So good bit of business, and brave of Jamie Vardy to stay at Leicester. I've got to admit that one. Next up is Hector Bellerin, another player who is going to be signing a new contract, obviously with Arsenal, to ward off interest from Barcelona for his services. I think if Barcelona signed him, they would be like the ultimate team. It would just be a straight replacement for Dani Alves. I think Hector Bellerin is absolutely fantastic. It's a player that Barcelona should go for and try and get. Next up is Zabaleta, again linked with an Italian club. This time it's Inter Milan. Obviously, Mancini is still at Inter Milan, meaning that he's going to get linked with every player that he's managed before, and Zabaleta is no exception on that one. Next up is Nani, actually getting linked with a move back to the Prem. This time it's with Everton. Obviously, they've got money to spend. They need, these better players. I think Nani would be considered a better player to bring in. Obviously, got Premier League experience, had a good season with Fenerbahce, and with them not winning the league, they may end up having to sell a player or two. Next up is Aaron Ramsey, linked heavily with Manchester United for, I think it's 25 million it was. Obviously, Mourinho's in charge, he knows what he wants, and apparently Aaron Ramsey is one of them players. Obviously, having a great Euros, playing a bit more freely than he does at Arsenal. I think he's a player that needs to play as the centre attack and mid, in my opinion. I don't think he's that good defensively. Next up is Joe Allen, another player who's having a good Euro so far, and he's being basically told he can leave Liverpool for £10 million, which first of all I'm happy about, because I don't think he's a Liverpool standard player, although he is playing well recently. I think he should leave, both for him and for the club. So it makes sense. Obviously, 10 million. We paid 15 million, so you're getting a 5 million loss. But he does only have 1 year left. Obviously, Celtic will be interested, and so will Swansea, and God knows who else would come out the woodworks for Joe Allen. Next up is Charlie Adam, getting linked with Burnley. They are interested in getting some Premier League experience into the team, and obviously some key quality player from set pieces, and Charlie Adam fits the bill in both of those. Obviously being in the Prem with Blackpool, Liverpool and Stoke, and would be a welcome addition at Burnley, I think. Obviously they just lost Joey Barton, so they need that quality in midfield now. Next up is Townsend, getting linked with a move to West Brom this time. Obviously, with Newcastle going down, a hell of a lot of interest has been in Townsend. A few different clubs of different levels as well, surprisingly enough, have been interested in him. He may stay at Newcastle, you never know, but it is most likely he will leave the club to pursue his Premier League career still. Next up, Sadio Mane. Now, Liverpool apparently going to bid 25 million for his services from Southampton. Basically strike Southampton when they're weak. They don't have a manager. They don't seem to have a game plan at the moment, just letting the manager go, possibly selling players. Looks like, Mane could be one to leave. Apparently it's going to cost £30 million to get him. Next up is Sanabria. Hasn't played a game for Roma, but yet they are looking to profit from him. He's a player who should be sitting in the youth system, basically, and he's been getting Southampton loan. He went to Sporting Gijon last season. Now Tottenham want to sign him for about £10 to £15 million to get him more as a support for Kane. He's a striker, so it would be the chance for Kane to actually have a rest rather than play every single game. Next is Morata. Obviously, he's got a Juventus badge there, even though he's gone back to Real Madrid. Now, Chelsea have inquired to Real Madrid about his services. They're looking to open talks with Real Madrid to try and get Morata in. Obviously, Real Madrid would make a profit on Morata no matter what now, I think. So it'll be a case of how much would Chelsea have to spend. Next up is Zaza, getting linked with West Ham for about a £15 million fee. Obviously, Juventus player, but he's not going to ever play for Juventus. He's pretty much like 4th, 5th choice behind like Dybala, Mandzukic, was Morata, obviously, but you're looking at never playing or going to the Prem and possibly, becoming a better player, i.e. Payet. So it could happen. 50 million's not a horrible fee. I don't think Zaza's that good, though. One player who is good and I'd love to see in the Prem is Lacazette. Again, linked with West Ham for £30 million. Leon have said they're not going to sell him, but money talks, let's be honest. So £40 million on that one. And that is the team. So there you go, guys. I for some reason can't get on the team on this one. If you did enjoy, as always, oh, there we go. There we go. And that is what the transfers would look like if they did come in. Obviously, you know, you're looking at Sanabria would be a new one. Morata would be a new one. Nani coming back into the Premier League. A 5-star skiller would be insane. Sorry about the ending there, guys. But if you did enjoy, as always, like and subscribe. And I shall see you in the next one.